I'm about to show you something so phenomenal that you will be surprised and shocked at the same time. My name is Robert, and I'm here to show you my secret love spell that will make any man you choose feel instantly hungry and thirsty for your love. So hungry that he'll feel hot blood rushing through his veins at the very mention of your name. And this will happen not in years or months, but as early as tonight. How is that even possible, you ask? That's because this is backed by proper scientific research and isn't voodoo or magic. In fact, it is something even better than that. And I want you to test this out for yourself today. Here's what I mean. Listen to what I have to say till the very end. Then just pick a man. Any man, actually. Even that man who doesn't like you or has flat out rejected you. Just casually use my secret love spell on him and then watch him spend every hour, minute, and second of each day letting you know how much he loves, craves, and adores you. You can also use it on that commitment-phobic player who isn't ready to marry you, and then see how quickly he starts counting down the days until he gets to see you in a wedding dress and turn you into his wife. You can even use it on your ex-boyfriend who has gone into the arms of another woman and make him feel drawn to you as if there was a piece of elastic pulling him towards you. And if you're still single, then my secret love spell will cause really handsome, amazing, and wonderful men to fight for your attention like wild jungle animals. All this kind of sounds a little evil and unbelievable, doesn't it? Well, it's all possible, and you'll be able to do this starting minutes from now. How can I be so sure, you ask? Well, because it was actually used on me. Here's what happened. This makes me feel oddly foolish, but I have a well-earned reputation of being a womanizer. And without getting into too many creepy details, let's just say that I never felt at ease unless I had a new, extremely hot woman next to me every evening. I know it was a nasty habit, but I loved every minute of it. I loved how I had this way with women where I barely even tried, yet even the hottest woman would easily and willingly fall into my lap. I had such a large number of women throwing themselves at me that I never wanted to be tied down by just one woman. Heck, I actually believed that the very idea of love was just plain silly. But all that changed when I had the strangest encounter of my life. One evening, I was sitting at a cafeteria when I saw this tall blonde in a red dress looking in my direction with a curious smile. Being a natural flirt at heart, I quickly made my way to her table to introduce myself. The closer I walked, I couldn't help but notice how gorgeous she was. Deep blue eyes, flawless complexion, gorgeous, lush hair, and her body showed off all the curves that a woman should have. I was so mesmerized by her beauty that I didn't even notice her friend who was sitting next to her, and I stupidly started babbling like a 14-year-old teenager who just stumbled upon his first big crush. After about a minute or two into the conversation, I heard a slightly agitated female voice saying, "Hello, you guys, I'm here too." Then her friend stretched her right hand towards me and said, "Hi, I'm Simone." On a quick glance, I noticed that Simone had a round little face and didn't have any delicate curves like her friend. Honestly, she completely paled in comparison to the sheer attractiveness of her friend. I tried to pull my attention back to the hot blonde, but then Simone said something to me so mesmerizing that I couldn't move and was literally stuck in my chair. I sat there staring at her with an unblinking intensity as her words continued to consume me and every part of me. Although she didn't impress me at first, but now I felt a strange attraction to her that I couldn't explain. Suddenly, everything about her, everything she did, struck a chord within me. Every time she innocently smiled and dimples popped on her cheeks, my heart would literally jump as if somebody had tickled it. I was having my own little moment of pleasure. I noticed her soft, graceful fingers as she delicately picked up her cup of coffee and felt a delicious sensation in my stomach each time her cherry lips met the cup. I knew I was making a fool of myself staring at her like this, but I was unable to pull my eyes away from her. I was so lost in her words that the world around me faded. Heck, it had been several hours and I didn't even notice that the tall blonde had left in a huff feeling ignored. And my moment was ruined when suddenly Simone's phone rang and she had to leave too. So like all good things, the evening came to an end far too quickly. As we left the cafeteria and walked to the cars, I just kept staring at her, thinking how badly I wanted to touch her, feel her, and run my fingers through her soft, long hair. But my dream was quickly shattered when she only gave me a quick little hug along with her phone number. And even with that, I felt like I'd won a big award. Over the next few days, I spent every moment just lost in thoughts of Simone. I wasn't even able to ignore her for an hour. Between fantasizing about her, talking to her, and being with her, I didn't do too much more. It seemed like the more time I spent with her, the more I started falling for her and falling hard. Now the idea of other women felt like a waste of time. I couldn't get myself to feel anything for them. But whenever I looked at Simone, it just felt different. It felt right. One evening, we were walking hand in hand by the beach, and I politely asked her for a kiss. She smiled and said yes. The moment our lips met, I knew my heart was no longer mine, and I'd finally found my future. In a sudden rush, my true feelings came flooding out as I stared deep into her eyes and said, I think I've fallen in love with you, and I don't know how it happened so soon. You are absolutely perfect and the best thing to ever happen to me. But suddenly, I saw her expression change to worry. She was twisting her feet in, kicking the sand as though she were about to tell me there was someone else. But then, she looked up at me and said, Look, I really like you too, okay? But I've been keeping a secret from you, and I don't want it to change how you feel about me, as I only did it because I cared. What secret? I asked nervously. You're going to think this is really crazy, but I am secretly a female dating coach where I coach everyday regular women the art of attracting and keeping the man of their dreams, and I do it using something called Lovetraction Lines. And I've kind of been using these lines on you. That's it? I asked. Listen, Simone, hearing all this makes you even sexier in my eyes, because what you gave me is exactly what every man wants in a woman, but will never say openly. You stole my heart with words, and you've made me feel that deep love that can only be felt, never explained. What else could a man ever ask for? But now I wanted to know who taught her all this. Simone told me that many years ago, just out of pure curiosity, she was looking into the subject of casting love spells, but stumbled upon something even better. She met a professional thought reader. No, he wasn't a fortune teller or palm reader, but he was a master at many hypnosis tricks. Simone saw him do something unbelievable and honestly unexpected with the power of hypnosis. This man whispered a simple little line into Simone's ear, and in less than 3 minutes, Simone started giggling like a little schoolgirl and just kept laughing over and over again. It was nothing short of magic, and when Simone asked this teacher to explain how he did that, what he told her changed her life forever. He explained that this wasn't magic or fancy play of words. Rather, it had to do with the human brain chemistry. After years of scientific research, it had been concluded that our brains come pre-wired to respond predictably to certain universal symbols and words. You know how we unconsciously know that red means stop and green means go? Our minds are biologically wired to respond predictably to certain universal words or lines as well. At that point, Simone interrupted him and asked, If you can get me to do anything you want using a simple little line without any resistance, do you have something like this for my love life? Can I actually use these lines on a man and make him fall for me? Of course you can, he said. In fact, you can create any feeling you desire within a man, even feelings of love, infatuation, or addiction, he added. He further explained that some lines are known to directly trigger a man's romantic nervous system. When a man hears these specific lines, his brain immediately releases phenylethylamine throughout his body. This is also known as the love hormone, and causes him to feel instantly in love. You know that feeling where your breath gets heavy, skin feels warm, and goosebumps rise within you when you've fallen for someone? These lines trigger those exact feelings almost instantly. At that point, Simone made it her mission to learn everything this teacher had to teach. After about 2 years of studying under him, she carefully took notes, wrote day and night, and finally had a complete guidebook of simple little lines and started calling them Lovetraction Lines, because of how rapidly it made every man feel love and attraction towards her. But you see, Simone's goal was to keep her lips absolutely sealed with this secret. But seeing how every man suddenly had a mighty crush on Simone, her friends knew something was up. Within no time, her friends started gossiping and Simone's secret spread like wildfire across quite a large number of women. Her phone started ringing off the hook and her inbox was full of emails from women asking her to share these Lovetraction Lines with them. And much against her will, she was forced to share it with a small number of women. She first shared her attraction meow line with a 38-year-old woman named Jenny, who was stuck with a man who clearly told her that he wasn't looking for a relationship right now. Within 48 hours of using this line, as Jenny was stepping into her car, this same man appeared out of nowhere, pulled her towards him, kissed her gently, and said, "All night I've been imagining us being together. I'm falling for you like I've never fallen for anyone before and need you in my life." And then he talked about moving in with her. Then there was a 53-year-old woman named Gabrielle who went on a date with this young stockbroker. He was handsome, wonderful, and in a sense, the whole package. But after the date, this man texted Gabrielle with a message that read, "Sorry if I gave you the wrong impression, but I'm not interested in another date." She gave Gabrielle her precious honey bunch line, and within a couple of hours of using this line, this man was blowing up her phone, telling her things like, "We fit so well together. Our chemistry is like none other. Can I please take you to dinner tonight?" And then there was Nancy, who had fallen head over heels in love with a player, who had broken her heart more times than she could recall. She gave her the emotion devotion line, and much to her surprise, this same man cut off contact with every other woman within a week and told her, "I want to be with you, hold you, love you, and protect you. From this point on, I want to spend every living moment with you and only you." And they're getting married next month. After seeing so much demand, Simone decided to open her doors to help more women. Until now, she's helped over 391 women ranging from 18 to even 80 years old. And for a while, she was happy taking in all these women. But then, she told me that it was just too much for her. A very large waiting list had formed, and this list of impatient and hungry women grew as more and more ladies became desperate to get access to these Lovetraction lines. With limited time and resources, she just couldn't help them all. Plus, the never-ending calls she was receiving from women begged to be coached were getting to be too much. Her story touched me so deeply that now I was inspired to help her, and I reminded her that the answer she needed was right in front of her. I asked her to turn all her knowledge into an online course. That way, she'd be able to reach every woman who needs her advice. And that's how the Lovetraction Lines online course was born. This means within a few minutes from now, you'd be able to use these Lovetraction lines on that one special man. And watch as he falls deeply and madly in love with you, almost like a hormone-driven teenager. And this works in all kinds of relationships, and even on that difficult man who might have rejected you in the past. But there is a small problem, and that is this. These Lovetraction lines are just too easy to use. So easy that it's slightly dangerous. Honestly, I'm ashamed to say this, but one woman misused these lines to make a man leave his wife and come live with her, and even made him pay for her house, car, and other expenses. Therefore, I need to warn you, I can't allow you to use these lines for evil purposes. So please, only continue to watch this presentation if you promise to never abuse this power. Alright, here's a tiny glimpse of exactly what you'll learn, and almost mind-bogglingly insane results you'll get when you get Lovetraction Lines online course today. Do you know about the soulmate mishmash line? This instantly makes a man convince himself that you are the one he's meant to share his life with, even if it's the same man who was never going to marry you. Now every time he'll look at you, he'll know in his heart of hearts that you're the woman he wants to grow old with. We'll keep bringing up the future and we'll ask you to be his bride. Is there a man you secretly desire and dream of having as your boyfriend who seems miles outside of your league? Try the precious honey bunch line on him and watch how he starts to shamelessly chase you and secretly spends his days wondering if you like him, if you ever think of him, if you find him attractive and will desire you more than he has desired any woman before. Do you know about the intimacy yoo-hoo line? This makes a man feel so emotionally connected to you that he'll just want to pick you up in his arms and spin you around all day long. He'll look at you as though you were the most beautiful woman he'd ever seen. He'll listen to you as if every word out of your mouth was more important than life itself. And he'll spend every moment trying to make you feel more desirable.